What's up, guys? This is Bulvi the Fell-Handed. Welcome back, my constant viewers, and welcome new viewers alike. Today is a first for me, my first game in the T-34-88. Wow, what can I say about this tank? It has the short 88, which is on the Tiger tank, not to confuse this particular 88 with the one on Tiger 131 that has been buffed especially for that premium tank. Now, this penetration on this gun when you use APCR is the exact same as the Tiger tank with the short 88. However, your standard AP rounds are going to be lacking in that aspect if you compare it to the tier 7 version of the short 88. Now, what this means, if you were in a 6-7 match, you will most likely not need to use APCR. However, if you are in an 8 match or you are facing a particularly tough 7, I would highly recommend it. First impressions about this tank is it is extremely mobile. So what that tells me is if you have a tank with a good gun that's mobile, the armor is just not going to be there. We go ahead and make a good shot on that scout right there before he gets away. So the armor's not going to be there. It's just a fact because no tank has the Holy Trinity in the game. There's a few that are very close to it. None, however, truly achieve it. So the armor is probably lackluster. Will it bounce some rounds? I don't know yet, but I am sure it will bounce some, but however, I would not count on it. The tank, though, the gun itself is amazing. When I was speaking about the short 88, I failed to mention the fact that it does 220 points of damage per shot. Now, that being said, if you have a Panzer IV run up on you, he will most likely DPM you to death. So the key, the strength of this tank, is to pull out, take a shot, and work from mid to long range. You don't really want to go in close because what's going to happen is you're going to have your Ram 2s and your British tanks, your very high DPM tanks, and they're just going to essentially take you apart. You can't really match that rate of fire because you have a larger gun that deals more damage. So just be wary of that. Consider this along the lines of TD. Not necessarily am I saying, hey, if you have this tank you need to go out and camp, but what I am saying to you is you do not want to get in a close confrontation with something that has an extremely high DPM. That being said, can it be done? Yes, of course. Should it be done? Probably not. Now, let's get to some of this very first gameplay footage. The video you're seeing, this tank has absolutely no equipment, and I think it has a fairly decent crew. So we put a round in the side of the KB2 there, destroying him, getting him off the board, and right now we have some pretty decent long shots here. Going to try to sneak one in there. It looks like we hit the leftmost part of the front plate of the tank I'm firing at, and it bounced, and then it looks like the next round we fired hit the right side of the tank, and that bounced as well. So, not a lot of good luck there shooting at range. And guys, this is one of those games where you get in here and you do well, but you don't do loads of damage. And the reason for that is the team is successful. Granted, of course, if the team wasn't that successful, I would have to carry more and do more. And it almost seems like, you say, hey, Bull, maybe I should just be on bad teams all the time. Well, you don't really want to be on bad teams all the time because sometimes, it goes south on you. More often than not, it goes south on you, and you get on these bad teams and you get out there and you get absolutely wiped out. So just be aware of that. You don't necessarily always want to be on the bad team. So guys, we have one guy left here. We're just going to finish him up nice and quick here. And if you've watched my other videos, you notice I use auto lock a lot at these low tiers. You don't necessarily want to do it with this tank unless you're in a very good position, primarily because of the slow DPM of this tank. You want to make sure you're going to connect with that shot. Guys, that's all I have for you today. That was our very first game in the T-34-88. I like this tank. I'm going to have a lot of good games in this tank. I see in the future 1250 damage. I really appreciate you watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share. We'll see you next time.